Learn English easily with Pro English.
Welcome back to the Speak English podcast. Today, we are not learning grammar rules. We are not memorizing lists. We are doing something much more important. We are wiring your brain. The number one complaint I hear from students is, I translate everything in my head before I speak. You hear English, you translate it to your language, you think of the answer in your language, you translate it back to English, and then you speak. But by then, the conversation is over. Today, we are going to break that chain. We are going to play a game called Name 5 Objects Fast.
This is exactly my problem. I call it the spinning wheel of death. You know, like when your computer freezes, someone asks me, "How are you?" and my brain goes loading, loading, translation, loading. And 5 seconds later I say, "I am fine." It makes me feel slow and stupid. I want to just react. But how can I stop translating? It's automatic. I can't just delete my native language from my brain.
You can't delete it, but you can bypass it. Think of translation as a detour. It's a long road. We want to build a direct highway between the image and the English word. When you see your brain screams manzana, or your native word, then you have to translate to apple. We want you to see and instantly hear apple. The only way to do this is through speed drills. We are going to play right now. Are you ready?
I am nervous, but yes. What do I do?
Look around the room you are in right now. Don't think, just look. I want you to name 5 objects that you see, out loud in English, as fast as possible. Go.
Okay, computer, table, window, phone. Pen. Okay, that was easy. But I felt a little pause before pen. I almost said bulgrafo.
That pause is the enemy. You picked easy objects. Now let's make it harder. Look at your desk or your bag. Find 5 specific things, not just paper. Be precise. Go.
Okay, mouse, keyboard, stapler. Is that the thing that connects papers? Yes, stapler, scissors. Oh God, the thing under my coffee cup, the round thing, I don't know the name. Cup holder, no. Table protector, see, I failed. I tried to translate passivasos, and I got stuck.
You didn't fail, you found a gap. The object under your cup is a coaster. This is why this game is powerful. It reveals your vocabulary gaps instantly. You thought you knew office vocabulary, but you didn't know coaster. Now look at the mess of cables under your desk. What is the long white plastic thing with many plugs?
Oh, that thing. Multi-plug. Electric strip. I have no idea. I just call it the cable thing.
It is a power strip or an extension cord. This is the level 2 of the game. Level 1, table, chair, book. Easy. Level 2, coaster, power strip, outlet, switch. Specific. If you want to think in English, you must be able to label your immediate environment without hesitation. If you can't name the things in your own hand, you can't speak fluently.
Power strip? Okay, so the exercise is walk into a room and mentally label things. That is a light switch. That is a door handle. Not just door, that is a rug. Not just carpet. It feels like I am tagging the world.
Exactly. You are tagging reality. Imagine you have imaginary post-it notes. Stick them on everything. But here is the rule. If you don't know the word, you must look it up immediately. Don't ignore it. If you look at the coaster and say, "I don't know," and walk away, you learn nothing. You must stop, pull out your phone, search thing under cup name, learn coaster, and say it 5 times. Coaster, coaster. This is a coaster. Now you have closed the gap.
Okay, immediate action. But Michael, what about when the objects are abstract or parts of things? For example, I am looking at my laptop. I know screen and keyboard. But what about the little hole where I plug in the headphones? Is that a hole?
Good question. Technical vocabulary. That is a jack or a port. Headphone jack. USB port. And the glass surface of your phone, it's a screen, but if it breaks, it has a crack. And the protective plastic you put on it, a case. Try to name the parts of the object, not just the whole object. Look at your shirt. What are the parts?
Okay, sleeve, the arm part, button collar, the neck part, and the hole for the button, buttonhole.
Yes, buttonhole, simple, and the pocket, and the thread that is loose. That is a loose thread, see. You can play this game for hours just sitting in one chair. Button, collar, cuff, the end of the sleeve, hem, the bottom edge. Suddenly, you aren't bored on the bus. You are actively training your brain.
This is actually fun. It turns the world into a dictionary. But how does this help me speak sentences? Naming objects is just nouns. Coaster, port, cuff. How does this help me say, I would like to buy a coaster? I feel like I will just become a baby pointing at things. Coaster, food.
Nouns are the anchors of sentences. If you have to search for the noun, the whole sentence collapses. If you know coaster, instantly, your brain has energy left to focus on the grammar. I would like. If you are struggling to find coaster, you will probably forget the grammar too. Fluency equals automating the basics so you can focus on the complex. Let's try level 3. Verbs. Look at the object and name what you do with it. Look at the scissors. What is the verb?
Cut, I cut with scissors.
Good, now look at the stapler. What is the verb? Do you staple?
Yes, I staple the papers.
Correct, now look at the drawer in your desk. What do? You open it. But what if you move it back and forth quickly? You slide it. Look at the light switch. Do you open the light?
No, I know this mistake. In my language, we open the light. In English, we turn on or switch on the light and turn off. We never close the light.
Exactly. So the game is object, switch, verb, flip slash turn on, sentence, I flip the switch. Do this for 5 things, go.
Okay, object pen, verb click. I click the pen. Object water bottle, verb unscrew the cap. Object chair, verb adjust. Going up and down. Object phone, verb swipe. Touch screen. Object headphones, verb plug in.
Brilliant, click, unscrew, adjust, swipe, plug in. These are high-frequency verbs that textbooks often forget. Textbooks teach run, jump, swim. But how often do you swim in the office? Never. But you swipe and click 100 times a day. By naming the immediate action, you are learning daily life English.
How often do you swim in the office? That is true. I learn useless verbs like climb, but I don't know swipe. So the Think in English trigger is narrate your life. I am clicking the pen. I am swiping the screen. Do I have to say it out loud or just in my head?
In the beginning, out loud or whispering is better. It connects the muscle memory of your mouth to the thought. If you are on the bus, do it in your head. That man is wearing a beanie. Hat. That bus is braking. Stopping. The road is bumpy. Adjective. Make it a running commentary, like you are a sports commentator for your own life.
And Sarah is opening the fridge. She is looking for leftovers. Leftovers. That is the food from yesterday. I love this. It keeps my brain in English mode. But Michael, what happens when I get tired? After 5 minutes, my brain hurts. It wants to go back to Spanish or my native language. Is it okay to stop?
Yes, it is a workout. You don't sprint for 5 hours, do it for 1 minute. The 1-minute trigger. When you make coffee, speak English for that 1 minute. I am grinding the beans. I am pouring the water. I am stirring the sugar. Where is the spoon? Then stop. Relax. If you do this 5 times a day, you build the habit without the burnout.
1 minute, I can do that. Grinding, pouring, stirring, kitchen vocabulary is actually really hard. Spatula, ladle, whisk. I usually just say the spoon thing.
The spoon thing is the enemy of fluency. In part 2, we are going to go into the kitchen. We are going to play the Name 5 Objects game with high-difficulty items like cutlery, appliances, and textures. We will also talk about prepositions of place because it's not enough to name the object. You have to say where it is. The mug is on the coaster. The spoon is in the drawer.
Prepositions, my nightmare. In-on-at. Okay, I am ready to label my kitchen. Let's take a break, and I will check if I know the word for the thing that drains the pasta.
It's a colander. See you in part 2. Fin delaparte 1. Quieres que gener la parte 2, turnos 31 a 60.